Nicola Hill. Nicola, first, tell us about these two people with severe allergies who developed this negative reaction. How did the tests, which are supposed to involve tens of thousands of people, not pick this up?
Yeah, you're right, Adnan. There were over 40,000 people in the trials of the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine. It's probably likely that people who were known to have severe allergic reactions wouldn't be recruited. Now, the literature that comes with the vaccine does say if you have any sensitivity to the ingredients, don't take this vaccine. And people who were in the trial were told the same thing. But it's a new vaccine. People probably had no idea what's actually inside it. It's important to point out that these two people who had this anaphylactoid reaction, that's not an anaphylaxis reaction, it's less severe as an anaphylaxis one. They are both okay. They were treated straight away. One of the reasons that people are told to wait for 15 minutes after they're vaccinated is to ensure that they're okay. And so the teams treating these two people did exactly what they were supposed to do. They treated them and they're both now fine. But because of this is why the MHRA, the regulatory authority here in the UK, has now given what's called a yellow card warning, where they're saying that anybody who has a known severe allergy to either vaccines, medicines or foods, peanuts is the one that we know really well, they shouldn't take this vaccine. And obviously it'll be investigated as more and more people are given it in what we call the real world, not in a trial environment. We will potentially see if there's similar adverse events. And it is worth pointing out, you know, if you're going to give a vaccine to millions, potentially billions of people, and if the first group to be given it are the elderly or people who have known health conditions, we will afterwards see events happen. You know, you might see severe medical events happen. It doesn't necessarily mean they're linked to the vaccine. They may well have happened anyway. But monitoring is underway all the time, and as more data is developed, it'll be shared and more knowledge will be known about this vaccine.
Yeah, I mean, I think for anyone watching, it's really interesting that the experts had said, look, if you have a severe allergic reaction, for example, if you're the kind of person that carries an EpiPen around, you need to think more than twice about having this particular vaccine. That EpiPen example I thought was a really good illustration for people who aren't obviously experts. What about Oxford AstraZeneca's vaccine? What about Moderna's vaccine? What do we know about those and their developments in terms of getting them into people's arms?
Well, the Moderna one, they apparently filed, I think it was 10 days ago, for emergency use in America. We're waiting to hear the result of that one. They've also announced that they're setting up a trial of 12 to 18-year-olds to see if it can be used in younger people. At the moment, most trials are 18 and upwards. Oxford AstraZeneca, well, Dr. Simon Clark from Reading University, who's an expert in this field, has put it very bluntly. He said there's a dilemma really now. They are AstraZeneca is the only company who has actually published all their results in a peer-reviewed journal. That's in the Lancet this week. All the other companies haven't done that. So they've been very transparent. They've given all the interim results they've had so far of their trials. But of course, as we've discussed before, there's an issue here. They had one large trial where people were given 2 doses, and then apparently by accident, there's a subgroup of people who were initially given a half dose and then a full dose. They declared this to the regulatory authorities, who said, that's fine, continue with that trial. But it's the small trial that had the 90% effectiveness. The much larger trial was only 62% effectiveness. So what do? Do they say, let's go for a half and then a full dose? Or shall we initiate a programme where you have 2 full doses? The problem with, I mean, it seems a bit of a no-brainer. You'd have thought, well, let's do the half and the full dose. But the problem with that is the subgroup was fewer than 3,000 people. They were under the age of 55, and there wasn't a very good ethnic mix in that group. So the dilemma is this: do you say that regime is given to younger people and other people get the one that's only 62% effective? Of course, the thing with AstraZeneca, Oxford vaccine is it's cheap, it doesn't need to be stored at low temperatures, it's easily transported, and it's the one that, you know, lots of people were pinning their hopes on simply because of those reasons. But I think, although it's being reviewed by the regulatory authorities here in the UK and elsewhere, particularly in America. I don't know if we're going to get any result for a while. They might want to see more trial results before they give any approvals. But we don't know. It's a question of watch this space.
Yeah, absolutely. There is a lack of clarity, Nicola. I've read that it might be 6 months even before the Oxford-AstraZeneca vaccine might be available. Nicola, as always, thank you so much to our health correspondent in London.